So I did these recordings about 2 months ago, about a month ago, and since then a lot of freaking updates went into Vanguard Zero. But I've been so busy with freaking union stuff that I haven't been able to work on this video for a while now. I've not been able to actually record stuff for the recent updates for freaking Vanguard Zero. But you know what? Frick it. I'm gonna be busy again, so I think this will be the kind of this will have to fill up the time until I come back. So I'm just gonna post this anyway and hope you guys enjoyed it. If you don't, I understand because this was a terrible video to begin with. Anyway, enjoy. So the first one up is Nectar. I'm not familiar with this clan at all. I've never played Nectar, so this was the first time for me to actually try out Nectar. It's pretty interesting, especially these cards: Bade Seed Squire, Knights of Virgil Gene, and Knights of Harvest Gene, which, like, each time they successfully get a hit on the Vanguard, they can superior call the next grade up to on the rear guard as rest. Except for Knight of Harvest Gene, if it successfully hits, it goes back a grade. And basically superior calls it as rest, which is a very interesting ability. You can superior call a rear guard, but it's on rest. So like, this really freaking shocked me at first. I was like, what's the point of this ability? But it's actually pretty good, since like Knight of Harvest Gene can go back to the deck in order to superior call. So I set him as a heal trigger, which is pretty okay. But like the rest, superior calling a rested rear guard is the strangest thing I've ever encountered before. So to like counteract this, because like this clan doesn't take advantage of like this ability too much, like gaining power or standing, not really too much. I just compensated with a lot of draw triggers and a lot of draw triggers and a few stand triggers. I also put in critical trigger, which is pretty much Maiden of Trailing Rose. I only have 2 of those, which superior calls 2 from the 5 cards you look up from your deck, which is actually a much better option for me than Knight of Harvest Gene, except the fact that Persona Blast uses up, like, well, Persona Blast, I actually don't like Persona Blasts, because like I have to pretty much draw another copy of the same card, and I set it as a critical trigger. So in order for me to use it, Maiden of Trailing Rose's ability, I have to get the second copy, and these are the only 2 copies I have of it, which are critical triggers. There's the downside there. So I compensated with a lot of stand triggers for this clan. And I don't really know how to play this clan properly, but I know a lot of people have already done their homework on this and probably made it better than mine. Since the Nectar deck that I've made is pretty much incomplete. Literally. I have 1 card that I haven't collected, which is Maiden of Rainbow Wood. A 9k with 9k power, that has ability to draw a card by the cost of using 2 counterblasts when its attack hits. So, yep. Anyways, like, this clan is not completely, like, it's not weak. You just have to take advantage of its quirk, as I would like to say. I would I say quirk because its superior calling ability isn't a bad thing, but it's not a good thing compared to, let's say, freaking Royal Paladin or Gold Paladin. Like, it's like Nectar's superior calling ability is much better than freaking Granblue in Cardfight Vanguard Zero in that regard. So, yep. Okay, so next up is Granblue, the second set of Granblue. From the second Granblue event, which is, oh my god, like I needed this clan event. It made Granblue much much more powerful, and like I didn't have to sacrifice cards too much compared to like the first one. Like you really have to like have to sacrifice for it because like Ruin Shade and a few like that grade 1 that gives power. They both have to pretty much send 2 cards from the top of your deck to your drop zone, which is I find that really annoying, and also like it's really hard to like superior call cards from the drop zone because not a lot of cards do that, except for like Captain Nightshade and sorry, not Captain Nightshade, Captain Nightmist, and a few cards. Now with the second set with freaking Ice Prison Necromancer Cocytus, oh my god, woo! I really don't have to sacrifice much. It can superior call, freaking by using 2 counterblast, superior call a card from the drop zone, which isn't really much, but compared to like the first set, I don't really have to like use up too much of my deck, which actually caused most of my losses in normal fights. Really sucks. So, oh my god. I already have like, how many copies do I have? I have 2 copies of Cocytus and it's pretty much powerful. I've gotten like a 5 winning streak with just 2 copies of Cocytus. And like, besides Cocytus, there's a few other cards that I really like and I'd like to thank for most of my wins. And one of this is 3-star Chef. Pietro, each time you hit the Vanguard with it, countercharge countercharge, because like this clan likes to freaking use counterblasts. Not like doesn't utilize the soul very much. It just likes to use counterblasts and the drop zone. And this card really changed the game, made it much much better. And besides that, there's also this card, that's Seeker Thanatos. Using counterblast 1, retire it to call a card other than Death Seeker Thanatos from the drop zone, which is this card is also pretty good. It adds to it contributes to another attack to the opponent by retiring itself and replacing itself with another card from the drop zone. And you could, in theory, use this to call a grade 2 from the drop zone. So like in preparation for the enemy's turn, so that they can't really do anything. They can't really do much damage to you on his turn. So his or her turn. Sorry. So this card, so this time around, Granblue is probably my most favorite clan to use. So yeah. Okay, so next up is the Spike Brothers. Well, the set 2 Spike Brothers, and this makes Spike Brothers twice as good as it was before. And before it was really like in set 1 is just so powerful already, but this one just makes it better, especially with the Dudley cards. So with the Dudley set, it utilizes counterblasts, which was pretty much missing in the first set. There's only like 1 card that uses that, which is Dudley Dan. And now with the Dudley cards, they utilize counterblasts so much, they don't use the soul too much, which is pretty nice. So instead of like going back to the deck, they just activate the counterblast and it gains the power and doesn't go back to the deck, which is pretty good. Because like in set 1, I didn't really want to use the soul too much, because I want to reserve that exclusively for Juggernaut Maximum. I didn't want to use freaking high speed Bracky for that one, because it's a grade 2 and I need grade 2s to block enemies' attack. So I was pretty bummed out that every time I want to like attack a rear guard or maybe a vanguard and I don't have enough power, I have to activate the soul blast and remove and put him back to the bottom of the deck in order to freaking take out a rear guard or vanguard. It really sucks. But for this one, counterblast, pass 5,000 damage, and tada! It doesn't go back to the deck, which is pretty good. Now the next one, I think this might be a long discussion, is the next card I'm particularly talking about is, well, Demonic Lord Dudley Emperor. This I wouldn't say this is much better than General Cypher, in my opinion. However, his limit break is pretty useful. It's a good counter to a to Dragonic Overlord in the Kagura clan and um, Dragonic Kaiser Vermilion in the Narukami clan. Since like they like to retire, those two clans, they like to retire the rear guards, and Demonic Lord Dudley Emperor just like by using up 2 counterblast, put a card to the soul, he can superior call a rear guard from the deck directly. So it's much different from General Cypher, but I wouldn't say it's much better considering its ability only activates when it attacks a Vanguard. So you have to first deal with the rear guards if you haven't already before you could attack the Vanguard. And the probability of you attacking the Vanguard is pretty low because if you're dealing with Narukami and Kagera particularly, they like to retire rear guards, so grade 1s included. So you're like, oh crap, I don't have like any more cards to call for rear guards or something. So in short, to counter these, a lot of draw triggers, and yeah, they help a lot. Like you could use Spike Brothers with only just draw triggers, and that's a good counter for pretty much like Narukami, Kagero, and pretty much any other clan really. Like I didn't have to adjust too much. I didn't have to for the grade 3 cards, I didn't have to replace too much cards in it because, well, for instance, Skydiver and Juggernaut Maxima are just really, really good support cards when it comes to in Spike Brothers when it comes to attacking particularly. So whether you have Cypher as your main card in your Spike Brothers deck or freaking the Emperor, it doesn't really matter as long as you have Skydiver and Juggernaut Maximum, you're pretty much good. What do you call it? Jelly Bean is similar ability to Solitary Knight Gancelot. Yeah. Well, except that you can get instead of just a grade 2, it's pretty much a grade 2 or less. So it's pretty good. That if you're running out of grade 1s. Yeah. Well, thank you guys for sticking around and watching the video, even though this should have been out about 2 months ago. I know that there's been a lot of updates and all that kind of stuff with Vanguard Zero, new clans. Recently, Aquaforce has been released. I've been playing them a lot recently. I just didn't have the time to record it, as I just said. I will try to make a video about the new updates and the new updates with the new clans and new cards and stuff. But sorry, I'll just skip Gold Paladin and Narukami and all those other clans, including Angel Feather. Yeah, but anyway, that's what I'm going to do as much as I can. Yep. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.